Hi everyone, this is Yelena and welcome back to the HTML5 Game Developer Day. Earlier today in the studio, we had my colleague Julia, joined by some great speakers from Kokos, Одноклассники, Facebook, and Soft Games. If you couldn't join the session by some reason, don't you worry, we will have all of them available in recording soon enough after the show. All right, now let's go to continue with some great talks by Snapchat, VK.com, Cool Games, and Black Snowflake. Sadly, Matthew Wiggins, the CEO of MojiWorks, couldn't join us today after all, but we really hope to have him here in the studio very soon enough. And let's welcome our very first speaker for today. Well, for me, technically, Pedro Rodrigues, the head of Games Partnerships EMEA at Snapchat.
Hello, Elena. Thank you for the invite.
Pedro.
Thank you, everyone.
It's so good to have you in the studio.
It's good to have you. I think it's my fifth event with White Knights, and really happy to be here. This time digitally, not in real life, but it's an awesome production by your team.
Oh, thank you very much. It's really important to hear this. How have you been over the past couple of months?
Well, stuck at home, right? Working from home for the last few months, but it's not that different. Where we're working with partners all over the world. It's been good in London, still based out of London, and making sure that the world returns back to normal, hopefully, so that I can visit family in Portugal.
God, I miss traveling.
I miss traveling. I was traveling probably once a month, and now it's been probably 6 months without traveling.
Oh, God. Well, hopefully soon enough, all the borders will be open and we'll see each other very soon as well.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right. I know that you have some great updates on the Snap Games for us, and we're very excited to listen to you.
Awesome. And I know the community watching can ask questions during the presentation.
Yes, definitely. So if you guys have any questions for Pedro, please feel free to type them in the chat by the window, and I'll be happy to read them out loud after the session.
Cool. So I'll make thank you, Elena. I'll make this presentation. I'll go through a couple of slides and videos that will show you a good understanding of where we stand as a Snap platform focused on games. And then at the end, we'll jump into Q&A, and I'm happy to also answer any questions that you may have. But quick introduction, I think Elena already shared. But my name is Pedro. I'm originally from Portugal. I live in London, and I run EMEA Games Partnerships at Snap. Our team is based out of London and Los Angeles, where our headquarters is based as well. And I'm here representing the European, Middle East, and North Africa side of things. So jumping into the presentation, there's a lot of cool slides that I'll show you and a lot of information, but I wanted to start from the beginning. So talking a little bit about Snap. And Snap, for those who are more aware, and maybe for those that aren't, Snap is a camera company. And at the core of our product is the camera and expressing yourself and communicating with your friends through our camera experience. And that's why Snap opens to the camera. So whenever you launch our app, you launch on Snap's camera, which is our tool for creation of information and augmenting photos and videos so that the Snapchatters can communicate with their best friends through this medium, through this very interactive and immersive medium. That's the big difference from Snap and other platforms. Most of our users send hundreds of snaps a day between each other, and snaps are high fidelity video, augmented reality content, and not only text messages. Talking about friends, when you look at our left-hand side of the app, you have our chat platform, and our chat platform is where you find your friends. And these are the folks that you communicate with, you hang out with every day. People that you go out for drinks, that you go out for hanging out and for food, for catching up for restaurant and food, that you travel together, your family, and so forth. And on the right-hand side, you have our watch side of the platform. And on the right-hand side, it's a compilation of premium video content that folks can subscribe to and follow their favorite shows directly on Snapchat. It's mobile first, and it's perfect for the experience and the audience that we catch and capture. So we've been making tons of progress. I joined the platform around a year ago. And since I've joined, the platform has grown month over month. And we're now at 229 million users, daily active users, that spend on average 30 minutes on Snapchat every day. This is a growing community, a global community that it's highly engaged and it's growing in our platform. A very interesting metric, our core audience is Gen Z and millennials. And for example, in US, we capture 90% of 13 to 24 year olds in this special market, an important market for gamers. Snapchat reaches in US now over 100 million people. And to put it into perspective, this is more than Twitter and TikTok combined. But it's not only about US, we're also growing in other markets such as UK, France, Canada, Australia, and so many other markets where Snapchat is now reaches now more people within the 13 to 24-year-old ages than Facebook or Instagram. And ultimately, Snapchat is about having fun. Snapchat is about experiencing the world around you and augmenting it, such as, for example, on City Painter, which was an AR game that we announced during our Snap Partner Summit. It's a multiplayer experience where in Carnaby Street here in London, you can arrive to that location, launch our local lens, City Painter, and play a multiplayer experience that you paint the world and you paint the buildings around you with your friends. But this invitation and this presentation is mostly about HTML5. So I want to move into our awesome platform, Snap Games, which is a social platform made for friends in HTML5. But first of all, just show you a quick video, and then we'll jump in and we'll explain everything about the platform. And so that was the video of launch, April 2019, when we launched our platform. And you saw a couple of games from folks like Zynga, Game Closure, and other developers that joined us in this journey from the day one and built amazing experiences to our platform. Snap Games is an HTML5 game platform that is made for playing with friends. And good news, it was our first anniversary very recently, and we shared an overall metric, which is across this first year of platform, over 100 million users, Snapchatters, have played our games. This is a growing number, and it's a number that shows that within our 229 million daily active users, there's a lot of gamers. There's a lot of folks that like to connect with each other through gameplay. But let me bring you back a little bit, like a lot actually, back to 1992 when Nintendo launched Super Mario Kart. And with Super Mario Kart, folks gather around living rooms playing consoles together. Friends like I had back in the day would sit together and they would play and hang out for the whole of the evenings and afternoons playing games and chatting and hanging out together. It was not only about the game, it was about spending time together and building those relationships. And it was also not only about the players, but it was all about those spectators. It was about the folks that were waiting for their turn to play. It was about people gathering together and building friendships through gameplay. And a couple of years in, and Nokia appeared. And with Nokia, a transformation of gameplay and access of gameplay and mobile happened in the world. And with it, the first game, Snake, which was a game that transcended countries, transcended ages. And a lot of folks like me back in the day would gather around in playgrounds to play together Snake and to compare scores and would be completely addicted to this game. A couple more years in, and we look at nowadays, and over 1 million apps are in the app stores, over 1 million amazing experiences that are becoming less and less easy to discover, in this ocean, bigger ocean of apps that exist. Another trend we noticed is that it's not only quantity of apps that are increasing, but most of the games we find nowadays on the App Store are single player experiences. They are solo experiences. And this means that games, instead of connecting people and instead of strengthening relationships and friendships like they did on the Nintendo days, they're leaving people more alone, um, distancing people from each other and spending more and more time alone playing their favorite games. And we want to change that. So that's why our platform appeared. Our platform was launched to raise discovery for high quality games, to empower social play, and to inspire shared memories between friends. And those are at the core of what we're trying to solve with our platform. And I'll walk you through our feature set and some of the awesome news and awesome updates that we have to share with the world. On the left-hand side of the screen, you see Alex. He's Bitmoji at the top. Alex is one of our lead product managers. He's based out of Los Angeles. And whenever he wants to play a game, he quickly clicks the rocket launcher on chat. He selects a game he wants to play, in this case, Bitmoji Party. And in just a couple of seconds, he's live. He's in the lobby of the game, waiting for friends to play. Now, his group of besties, his group of friends are waiting for that notification. And they are prompted in chat if they are there and if they are currently chatting. They are notified if they're watching a video on our watch platform. They still are reminded that Alex wants to play. And even if they are outside of the platform completely, they are still notified and reminded that there's a session ongoing. And again, super quickly, in just a couple of seconds, there you go. All friends are now on the same lobby, ready to play in the same session, same level, all together. So this took us to build a platform that made people feel digitally present. But how do we make them feel physically present as well? How do we make them feel that they are in a living room? In this case, not a real one, but in a digital version of it. And it all starts with identity. Identity is how you represent yourself within the games you play and the experiences you engage with. And on Snap, that's based on Bitmoji. Bitmoji is our digital avatar. And I'm going to run a quick video that shows the value of Bitmoji, what the experience is, and then I'll share a little bit more about the feature itself. And so Bitmoji is our digital avatar. It's a company that we acquired a couple of years ago and that we started integrating into our ecosystem. And Bitmoji right now, it's integrated into different experiences across our ecosystem and even off platform through our SDK SnapKit. On our platform, you'll see it in Bitmoji stories, which are cartoons that put together friends in a 2D series that happens every week, 3 times a week. You can see them in stickers that you add to your images and to your photos as a way to add context and add expression to your content into your photos. And then you see it on chat as messaging stickers. You see it in games as in-game characters, and you see it on map as a way to express yourself as you travel around the world, and so that your friends can see what you're up to. Over 300 million people downloaded Bitmoji during the last couple of years, and many more are starting to adopt this digital avatar as their representation of their real self in a digital world. The platform itself on Snap Games, whenever you launch a game, you have a bottom tab that you see there where the finger is pointing to. And Bitmojis peak as they join the chat. So if your friends start joining in, you'll see their Bitmoji peaking and showing presence, making you feel like you're together. You're not alone. In games like Super Snappy Bowling from Noah, one of our good developers, you can see 2D Bitmojis being used as emotes in-game. A series of emotes that you can collect in chests after each match. And as you collect these emotes, you can start using them on the game, as you're seeing on the left-hand corner. Let's talk now about communication. Our goal is to build a platform for real friends to play together and to hang out. And it is impossible to hang out if you don't have chat features and voice features. So from the day one, our platform launched with both chat, so a way of writing messages to your friends as you're playing a game, in this case, Bitmoji Party, or voice, as you'll hear in the background, as a way of communicating at the same time that you're playing a game, as Alex is communicating with his friends. So now people can have the chance not only to play, but to talk about life, spend time together. And we've seen that that has high impact on the time sessions that they are playing and how they're engaging with games. Ready Chef Go is a game that we announced a couple of 6 months ago, I believe, from MojiWorks, one of our close partners. It was meant Matthew, the CEO, was meant to be present in the event. Unfortunately, he can't. But representing a little bit an amazing developer that MojiWorks is, I wanted just to share a little bit about their game. It's a cooking game, collaborative cooking game, where you can quickly jump into a kitchen and serve clients together with your friends and compete with other people around the world. In the first 6 months of this game, it saw more than 25 million players playing their game. But even more interesting, and this really proved the thesis or the theory we had since day one, which is if you play together, you're going to play for longer, you're going to engage more, you're going to spend more time together. And whenever Ready Chef Go is played by friends rather than single player, rather than in solo mode, the game, the average user spends twice as long playing the game versus when they are solo. So now let's talk about social. And we built in also features that enable social. And I'll walk you through a couple of them. Ring is a feature that when you're in a game and one of your friends unfortunately didn't see the first notification, didn't join that session, you can still ring him. And as soon as he gets ringed, he may decide this time to join in and arrive in the same context, in the same level playing with you. We announced features like snippet sharing. And snippet sharing is a way to launch the Snap camera at the end of a match. As you're seeing, I failed my throw to my friend Edgar, one of our colleagues in the team, and I can pass on to the camera, to the Snap camera sticker that shares that funny moment, and I can share with my community through Snap. They can be used to brag about achievements, results, and so forth. We launched leaderboards, Snap leaderboards. These are leaderboards that allow users and players to see where they stand across their friends list, but also across all of Snapchatters. So on Tiny Rail from Zynga, I'm currently top 25% across all Snapchatters. And finally, we announced recently Share to Chat. And Share to Chat is a way from within game for you to challenge your friend or to gift energy to your friend. So that you can re-engage them back to gameplay and so that you can have their company in achieving the goals that you are seeking for within the game. And it's not only about the games or the developers that we spoke with, and I'm going to miss some names for sure, but there's a lot of developers that I work with and our team works with on a daily basis. They're building these amazing real-time, high-fidelity, mobile-first experiences in HTML5. And you can see that from games like Tiny Royale in Zynga. It's a battle royale, 30 people fall into a map, and the last man standing wins. And just like a Fortnite, a mobile version of a Fortnite. You can see games like Subway Surfers Airtime from Cyber, which brought their amazing world and their amazing IP to our platform, but this time rather than their famous runner as a hyper casual multiplayer game that it's very easy to play and play together. And Gizmar, one of our good friends as well, who built Color Galaxy, a game where you travel in different cars. In this case, I'm riding a T-Rex. You travel around the map and you try to capture other players and capture the majority of the map so that you can win. So now for our developers. If you're a developer joining our platform, we are focused on improving the platform as we go and the services that we provide to make sure that developers develop a game more quickly, more seamlessly, and that it's quick to integrate with our social features. A couple of years ago, we acquired a company called Play Canvas. It's an amazing collaborative engine for HTML5. A team that is based here in London that joined us, joined Snap to really level up our understanding of gaming, our tools that we now provide to developers to build experiences like you're seeing on the screen, which are high fidelity 3D multiplayer that are only available and possible on Snap. We not only have the engine, we have game services through our SDK and features that are, enhance your experience as a developer, that optimize your games to our platform with sharing flows and invite flows and so forth. And we announced and launched our the CMS in our publishing tools and dashboards for metrics that now developers use to publish new builds, to keep track of their progress, and to update their games as they go. And finally, of course, game developers need to monetize their audiences as well. And on Snap, you can monetize your audience through in-game ad formats. We have rewarded videos and we have interstitials that come from advertisers that we have in the platform, brand and gaming ad demand. These are 6-second skippable mobile-first ads. That means that the ads are very quick to watch as a player and very quick to return back to gameplay and engage. And they are mobile-first, vertical, as our platform is and as our users enjoy experiencing these experiences. We also announced at Snap Partner Summit a couple more partners that are joining us in this journey. Folks like Voodoo, Nordius, Madbox, and others that are joining us this year, the second year of platform, to level up of our games and to bring more amazing multiplayer experiences to our platform. Snap Games is currently invite only, so we are a curated platform. We're not an open platform, and we're seeking to work with the best developers possible that can build the best games possible for our audience. We prefer working more times with the same developer. We prefer launching multiple games with the same folks that we work very closely with, rather than expanding and opening the platform to too many developers. You can find us if you're a developer that is interested in joining Snap Games and launching a game with us. You can reach out to games@snap.com. You can send us a quick note, your idea of a game, your concept, slides. We'll evaluate it, we'll reach out to you, and hopefully we can bring your game to hundreds of millions of Snap chatters that are looking forward to new games in the platform. Thank you, and that's it for me, Elena.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Thank you for a fantastic presentation today. Very much enjoyed it. And by the way, congrats on the 1-year anniversary.
Thank you.
That's very big. We have a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
The very first one, are there any particular genres that you guys are looking for at the moment?
I think it all comes down to our mission and to our vision for the platform. Our vision for the platform is to be a platform that allows friends to hang out and spend time together. Mm-hmm. So games that will allow folks to play together, so real-time multiplayer games, that will allow them to use voice and chat to hang out, that will allow us to allow them to experience the world, not only in a competitive mode, not only trying to reach the top of the leaderboard, but rather try to hang out and spend time together. What I mean is talk about life, talk about travels, talk about school. Our users spend 30 minutes on average a day on our platform, and they hang out, for example, in their couch at the end of the day, and they want to have an experience that feels like they are playing together with their friends, and that's what we're looking for. So real-time multiplayer games that are polished, high fidelity, mobile first for our users. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, thank you very much for answer. You mentioned that actually right now there are so many games coming out every single day, and it's very hard to stand out. But so, what would you recommend game developers do to actually have a breakthrough? I know it's a tricky question. Very
No, it's a great question. I think, look, we are a social platform. We're a platform that connects friends. If you're using Snapchat, you're hanging out, you're chatting on our platform, and our games are available on chat. So basically, your game will be very close to where folks are already talking and already hanging out. So think about Snap as a launcher, as a lobby, as a matchmaking tool for your game. And so the beauty of that is that you don't need to run hundreds of millions of dollars in marketing budgets in order to achieve tens of millions, hundreds of millions of users. As I pointed out from Ready Chef Go, their game had 25 million unique users in the first couple of months, and there was no marketing budget spent in those users. It was just organically through social sharing, through the invites that folks got to find about the game and play together. So that's the beauty of our platform and social platforms in general, is that you can achieve those amount of users without being lost in an ocean of games on the App Store.
Fair enough. Thank you very much. And we have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name any kind of benchmark for the Snap, like on which retention the developer should focus on to be actually to be at the top?
It's a good question. I think in a platform like Snap, discovery is very easy, and games for the games to be high performant and to engage audiences and retain them, they need to be very easy to play. From the couple of first seconds of gameplay, you need to launch the game super quickly. It needs to be seamless, and so therefore day one retention or loading times, for example, are very important. You need to capture the attention of millions of users that are looking into your game, and you need to figure out how to keep them engaged from the first couple of seconds. So I would focus short-term performance metrics like open ratio. So how many users are trying to launch your game and are capable of engaging and playing with it, and how long it takes for to load and launch that game. Hopefully, within a couple of seconds, 3 to 5 seconds. If you launch the game within that time, the user is much more likely to retain.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last question: are you guys providing any organic promotion tools at the very early stage of marketing?
Promotion tools, yes. So our platform will launch you in our platform. You'll have distribution in our ecosystem, and distribution will happen through different entry points, let's say. So you'll have entry points that are tied to chat. So whenever we click on the launcher icon, you'll have a list of games, and those are it's a perfect entry point for playing with friends because you're already where people are talking. You can launch a game from search. So if you learn that you love a game, let's say Color Galaxy, I can go to search on Snap. I can search for Color Galaxy, and there I go, and quickly also I can launch the game. You can find it also sometimes on Discover. So Discover, our platform where it has video and publishing content, you will have sometimes some placeholders or entry points for games as well, where you'll start in individual context versus real-time multiplayer. So there, it's a way of allowing you to learn about a new game, and then hopefully you'll invite friends to join in. So there's multiple entry points. And then when you launch a game on Snap, for new games, people will be reminded that the game exists. There's going to be nudging on the platform and badging on the platform that will link you to that specific game.
Thank you very much. And I believe we have time for one more question. Is there any actually documentation for Snap Games SDK available anywhere, or is it only on a request only?
Request only, invite only. So our goal really is how can we work with the best developers that are committed to bring about the vision that we have for the platform, the vision of real-time multiplayer games that are better to play with friends. And so what we're trying to do is you have an email that I'll show you here. So you can reach out to games@snap.com. You can send me a note, a couple of TLDR about the game that you're thinking of building, presentation you have about it, or even a prototype. And we'll reach out to you if we find that there's a good fit that you're trying to build exactly the same vision as we are. And then we'll start coordinating together. We'll whitelist you for all documentation, for all SDK, and hopefully you can build a game within a couple of months and launch it on our platform as well.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Thank you for coming in today. Well, virtually, technically, yeah. If you guys have any more questions for Pedro, please feel free to write them down in the chat. Actually, we have one separate one, Q&A with speakers, so feel free to ask away all the questions. Thank you very much for the presentation. It was fantastic to have you.